Hello everyone and welcome back to another update on the Building America Model Railroad. As usual, it's been a while since my last post, and as most of you know, my job and my real life keep me very busy. So unfortunately the layout has had to take a back seat, but I have been doing a lot of work and I'm going to go through some stuff real quickly with you guys so you can see what I've been up to. I've detailed the entire corn maze, so that is basically done. I need to put a little bit of more dirt right here. But as you can see, I put some colored tufts in. As you guys said, it made a little bit more sense to add some more corn in here. And I might add just a little bit more. I like it the way it is, but I might add a little bit more to make it a little more prototypical. The farm is really coming along, almost done. As you can see, there's stuff in the way, of course. That happens when you're working on things. And here you can see that I still have to detail all of that. The barn and the pasture, those are all done. And over here, I'm planning on putting another building, probably right in that section over there. But we'll see. I don't want to clutter it, but I think it needs maybe something for where the horses would be, a stable or whatnot. So we'll see if I can make that happen. Maybe I'll move the ranch house over a little to the left and get me a little bit more space on the right there. Tombstone is done. You kind of can't see anything because of all the Union Pacific cars that are there. The cemetery is done, Boot Hill Cemetery. And again, I'm sorry, but I've got trains in the way. And yes, that is a question I've been getting quite a bit of. Does the layout work? Yes, it does run. Everything runs. Just haven't been doing a lot of train running. Been trying to get a lot of detail work done, and as you can see from this section, there's still a lot to get done, but it's starting to come along really nicely. Detailed the town. Haven't come up with a name with it for it yet, but maybe we'll call it Mafiaville. I don't know, because there's a lot of Godfather buildings there, and you can see the homies found their spots. This is something I literally just finished, and believe it or not, I have to fix it. As I was bringing it out here, it cracked a little bit in one section. I'll show you, but it's right here. And in real life, the Union Pacific had a roundhouse that went all the way around. Well, obviously, I don't have that kind of space to do that. I've only got a 6-stall roundhouse. But in real life, their roundhouse was almost a complete circle. And at this section where the roundhouse was, they had this gigantic I-beam that ran from one part of the roundhouse to the other. And for the most part, the research that I've done, it was used to support different things during different times. What I did is I made basically a train wash. Now, that is what this is here, and we'll get into that in another update. I had it on the old layout, and I put it onto this layout. I haven't gotten it working right yet, so not really going to get into it too much, but this is going to simulate hoses right here, and I got a couple of valves on there, so you could turn the hose off, and one of them, I said cracked, but actually there was a second one right here. It fell out. You can see it down there. So I custom built this from scratch, and I'm going to put it in that section right there to kind of make it look like the Union Pacific, the way they had it back in the time when, the steam era. So this is going to be interesting when I try to put this in. Definitely going to need to climb up on here, trying to stay as gentle as I can with this area because, the coal tower is right here. It's extremely delicate. The track is obviously delicate as well. So it's going to have to climb up on top of the layout and see what I can do. But as you can tell, all the ballast is in, and obviously went with black because if you had steam engines going through this area, you would definitely have a lot of black ballast. So that's what I did there. I added some trees in between the tracks, and there's some more over here. It was just too plain, and I really didn't like the way it looked, so I decided, let's spruce it up. Let's put some trees in there. I'm also going to put a building right in this section here. It's probably going to be about 2 feet. It's going to be a control tower type building, but a lot smaller than this one, of course. And I'm going to put some cars in there, maybe some fence, make it look like it's the entrance into the yard. So that's something I'm working on right now. It's not done yet. A buddy of mine is helping out, and if you're watching this, you know who you are. I'll mention you later. But moving along. Detailed this entire section here. Wasn't really sure what way I wanted to do it, but I figured, you know what, let's do something different, something I haven't tried before. And I really like the clump brush here. Clump foliage, excuse me, came out real nice. Again, something different. I didn't do that on the last layout, and I wanted to do something I hadn't done on this layout. I was really trying to get a little bit more detailed on this layout than I was in the past. As you can see, the diner and the station area have changed. I put the Woodland Scenic Station in over there. I like it. It gave me a lot more space and didn't look as cluttered. As you can tell here, the diner is far from finished. Those cars are there basically for scale to give me an idea of what would go where. I got to put some lines in, you know, for parking spaces and whatnot. Right now I just have them set up so I can get an idea of what kind of cars I can put in there, how many. The sign is obviously down over there. So yeah, that's what's going on in that section. Let's make our way to the other side of the Halloween town. And I finished off this area. Got these buildings from York in the fall. And they're really nice. They're small. They fit right in this section. And I did a little bit more of the clump foliage around them. I decided to put in a cemetery here. And this was a custom sign that I got from Nassau Hobby. Always been a big fan of Back to the Future. And as you can tell, the DeLorean is underneath the sign. And I believe it or not, I actually found the Lion Estates sign. So I'm going to get them and put them right over here. Maybe move some of this foliage around. So it would be like you were literally driving into Lion Estates. Now, obviously, it's not prototypical or perfect, but it's just something I thought was cool. And one thing you'll see as time goes on with this layout is there's going to be a lot of movie cars on the layout. I found a bunch, and I think it'd be a cool thing to do to have a bunch of movie cars on there. Moving over here, this section right here, basically from here to here, I'm going to put the Woodland Scenics clubhouse. And I already got a whole bunch of these little guys from Woodland Scenics, the bikers and whatnot. And I'm going to have them, you know, riding their bikes over to their clubhouse in this area. This was just kind of give me an idea of how much room I had. One guy, excuse me, I forgot to mention, I went to Edison and Chase U Collectibles, Andy Thaler helped me out. He was the one that got me that car, got me the DeLorean. And I told him I mentioned him on my channel because he was very helpful. So thanks, Andy. And if you guys get a chance, check him out. Nothing special over here that you didn't see from the other side. But like I was saying, I may end up moving the ranch house over a little bit. I did put Grandma and Grandpa over there reading the paper and hanging out on the rocking chairs. And I'm planning on adding some more tufts to this area. I just don't think it's covered enough. I think it needs some more. I put a bunch of rocks, and I wanted to get a little bit of color in there. There's some tumbleweeds, there's some cactus. Over there you can see a couple of buffalo with some Joshua trees. I'm going to zoom in. There we go. And again, you know, maybe not necessarily prototypical or whatnot, but I just like the way they looked. And I got to thank Jim from Scenic Express for getting me those Joshua trees. Here's one right here, and you guys can see. They are incredible. Really look good. So Jim, if you're watching, thank you. And I think that about sums it up for now. I will have trains running in the upcoming videos because, as you can tell, they are. I got a big boy right here, and I've been using him to let me make sure I have enough room when I'm putting things in, because as you can tell, when they articulate, they definitely will rearrange your layout. And even if you don't want them to, they got a mind of their own. So that's one thing. If you're new to the hobby and you're watching and you got a big boy or a Challenger or any type of articulated engine, make sure you leave enough room, because they will rearrange anything that's not in that's in their path. So but I want to thank all my loyal subscribers. You guys are the reason this channel exists. And thank you for always watching and commenting. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I always love your comments. I love questions. Feel free to ask. I believe in this hobby that if I have something that you like and I can help you and share where I got it from, I'm happy to do it. So like, subscribe, comment, and as always, happy railroading. Be on the lookout for a new logo too. Friend of mine, as you guys know, I'm friends with Nick from PGH Train Fanatic, and he helped me redesign my my logo. So be on the lookout for that. It's pretty much done, and I'm going to be putting it up real soon. So the yellow Building America, which is from the Union Pacific, is going to change. I'm going to have my own logo, and I'm really looking forward to putting that up. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Real quick update, a couple of new pieces to the collection. Western Pacific Vision Line. This is a piece I have been looking for since it came out. I missed the pre-order and I finally found it. This piece is absolutely incredible. I mean, the detail on this, Lionel knocked it out of the park. And very happy to have this in my collection. And also, Burlington Northern. And I got the matching cars. These are the 8s. Been looking for these for a long time. Finally ran across them and thrilled to have them in the collection. And as you guys know, I've also been doing a little bit of collecting with the Aberdeen, Carolina, and Western. And I just really think that the colors on these engines are absolutely incredible. So, also was able to find one of these. And Mike, if you're watching, thank you for making this an easy process. This is the Brass Hybrid Challenger. Very happy to have this in my collection. And I think that about sums it up, guys. If anybody, like I said, I keep repeating myself, but if you have questions, please post. Happy to help, happy to answer. And thank you all for being patient with me. Like I said, in my life right now, between work and my real life and family and whatnot, getting out to the train room has been very difficult. But as you can tell, we're moving along and we're almost done, that's the best part. When it's finally done and you can run trains and enjoy them, that's the best part of this hobby. So, thank you so much, and I hope you've enjoyed this video.